2nd of September 2021. Psalm 82, 8 verses. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Oh, what a psalm. Oh, hallelujah to the Lamb. Let's dig in. Verse 1, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. Verse 8, arise, O God. Judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Well, don't we see a lot here? So who's the gods? What does gods mean?
Fake idols.
Fake idols? No. In this sense,
Us small.
what's the word God mean? The underlying meaning. You look at it, the gods judge accurately and correctly. It's not talking about false gods. It's actually talking about those people who are judges. God means judge. So those who were in charge of the law and were judging were gods. Though there be gods many and lords many, there's only one God. There are many judges in this earth, and there are many lords over you who lord it over you. But there's only one God and one truth, and his name is Jesus Christ. He's the one in whom we trust. Trust not in princes, but trust in the Lord thy God. Trust not in man, but trust in the Lord thy God. God standeth, the judge of judges, standeth in the congregation of the mighty. How long, verse 2, will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? What's Isaiah 5 say? We've touched on this numerous times, Isaiah 5. Come on. What does it say? Stir you up by way of remembrance. Stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. What does it say? Come on. Accept the persons of the wicked. Woe unto them that call evil good. Isaiah 5 verse 20. And good evil, that put darkness for light, light for darkness, put bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. The end part of that chapter shows you the result of when you do that. Women have the rule over you, and children are your oppressors. I go into a store somewhere and I have a complaint. It's a valid complaint. I've been treated poorly. The product given to me was garbage. Wasn't what I paid for. Certainly wasn't the beautiful picture sitting on the counter behind the person who served me. And I go up and I make a complaint. Who do I talk to? I talk to a 20-year-old. An 18-year-old. That's okay. But then they start to rough handle me with their words. Children are your oppressors. I paid money in good faith to get that thing sitting up there as a representation. You know what a judge said? Someone took one of the fast food chains to court because the picture was beautiful. The packet they opened up was a skid mark. Looked like someone sat on the thing. Just thrown together. That's not what, so we took it to court. One, he's sick of it. A strong sense of justice this man would have had. The judge said, oh, it's just a representation, don't be stupid. And he threw it out. Didn't even make it to the... You go and buy a Mercedes-Benz that way. Oh, the brace is just a representation. Dents and all that and scratches along the way. Come on, lots of hands. It's just a representation. Would that have flown? Would that have worked? No, that man was on the take. An just judge. That's just one small example. But this is talking even worse. This is talking about those in the body, not just those in the carnal world. Judge righteous judgment, Jesus said. Just judge righteous. Oh, judge not less evil. No, judge not unjustly. It's talking about in Matthew chapter 6. You're full of hypocrisy and deceit. This is what this is also talking about. This is a parallel compendium verse. Just think Psalm 82 next time you read Matthew 6 and come and read Psalm 82. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Or what's a wicked person? I don't accept a fornicator, adulterer. No, you accept an unjust judge. Someone who has the outward appearance of godliness but denies the power thereof. This wouldn't be a warning if it wasn't a direct possibility. And Paul wrote in 2 Timothy chapter 3. In the time of the end, men will be blasphemers. How many times have I heard a Christian loosely use the things of God in their speech? I corrected, and I'm the only one ever to have done it, and I upset the little child, poor little child, the granddaughter, and I was quite happy to do it too. Quite happy, still am. Men should be lovers of 2 Timothy 3, just let me read it. This know also at last days, perilous times shall come. For men should be lovers of their own selves. What is 24, is it, of Matthew? The love of many shall wax cold because sin abounds. That's talking about the body. That's not talking about the world out there. I've had you say it to me, and I've said it many times, there's far more concern and genuineness given by the unsaved on occasion than I even have from believers. I've known people to go through horrendous emotional times, but because they didn't align themselves with the doctrines of the church they were going to, they were treated coldly. They left with great hurt. You didn't align with our doctrines, we're going to kill you. Emotionally and spiritually. Wicked men. Wicked. Lovers of their own selves. Covetous. Boasters. Proud. Blasphemers. Disobedient to parents. Unthankful, unholy. Well, how can you be disobedient to a parent? Just say you have an unsaved parent and you're born again. And your best testimony is to stay in the home even though they're living in adultery. How else are they going to see Christ? Oh, but I have to judge your sin. So I've got to move out. You were living there before you were saying, what was the problem? Oh, but now I know better. Okay, do they know better? If after 6 months or 12 months of you constantly ministering, if they're hard to it, then maybe you need to move out. Maybe not. Within weeks of getting saved? No. That was the advice they had from ungodly men. How are you disobedient to parents? That's an example of disobedience to parents.
Yeah.
You're not showing them Christ. You got saved because you were shown Christ. And God was long-suffering. He waited 18 years to get you saved. Mm-hmm. That's a long time. You disobedient little pig. He was even more long-suffering with me, 22 and a half, nearly 23 years. No. I was 22. When I got saved, yeah. Other men he's even more patient. Other men he'll cut off when they're 15. It's up to God. It's up to God. And I could have died at numbers of times, of instances. I had motorcycle accidents and all sorts of horrible things. I could have died. And I won't even know how many times and how. But look at this, verse 2. How long will you judge unjustly? You have the right judgment. He's not talking about the carnal stupidity of the judgments of man. I said to a magistrate, man's laws are unjust. I said to his face in court, man's laws are unjust. Should have seen the look on that little face, like he sucked on a lemon. I said, but God's laws are just. He's going to give you some training. Just trust Christ. Don't worry about mucking up your words and shaking a little bit. Nah. combat does that. Makes the adrenaline run a little bit. Praise the Lord. But judge justly. Don't accept the persons of the wicked rubbing shoulders with the bearded badgers of this world. Don't accept their persons because they look okay, because they're on the outward appearance, they look godly and pure, and they've got the right skin colour. No. Judge according to just judgment. Let the God of battle guide and direct you. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. An angel unawares comes to your door, and he's not a Baptist. You don't know him. What do you do to him? Does he become a member? I don't believe so. I don't believe he's going to sign off on the 23 points of doctrine, or the 21 points of doctrine. You think about that for a moment. How many angels unawares have come along my path? You're not going to know because they're unawares. You're not going to know. The Lord will blind you if need be. If you are that discerning that you can pick it up, the Lord's going to blind you. So you won't, because it's unawares. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Oh, but he was a Samaritan. He wasn't quite of my breed. He was sort of a Jew, sort of not a Jew. So the scribe and the priest crossed the road because he fell in amongst robbers. He was travelling alone. Well, if he was truly of God, he would have discerned that danger and he wouldn't have been beaten up. So he's just getting his justice out. He's not of our band. He's not of our crew. I won't give him any... I know the terrible struggle he's going through financially, but I'm not going to give him any courage, any encouragement other than mere words. I'm going to be a goat. I'm going to say, be at peace. God bless you. We'll add your name to the prayer list. We'll pray for you on Wednesday evenings. We'll pray for you. And they went away poor and hungry and unsatisfied. God bless you. Go and be at peace. Well, if I was gone and being at peace, I wouldn't have come to your door, would I? What a dumb thing to say. But yet the Lord's going to judge the goats. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. We've been delivered out of the hand of the wicked. These people are nice. I look at some of these people sometimes, and they're nice people. They can speak well. I mean, not educated, not what I'm saying. They speak courteously. They can even show you kindness. You know, it costs nothing to be kind to someone. It costs something for you to actually do something physically. When there's a physical cost to your pocket. And I don't mean a bag of free meat that was given to you. And it was free to you anyway. But it tasted nice, and I was very grateful. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. It's interesting. One part of the foundation of the earth was expected to be the body of believers. What's it say here? Psalm starts with a cry unto God. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. That's about the only comfort you're going to get when you're naked with 10 men standing around you with a glove on, about ready to give you a body cavity search. And they won't care for any rights you have according to man's demon law. The only comfort you've got is God as a righteous judge. I'm telling you, evil times are coming. I read accounts in Fox's, the acts and monuments of the Christian church. I read Hebrews chapter 11. I know what these evil people do. Reconcile yourself dead indeed unto sin. Hebrews 10 this morning reading. That sin spoken of. is preserving this flesh. I make myself a living sacrifice, an epistle read of men. I don't care. They don't need approval. I don't need to get their approval. I got God's approval. That's all you need. I don't care about your effing religion. That's exactly what they have said. And that's exactly what they're going to say. I've had police officers yell that to me. I don't care about your religion. I don't tell you these stories, no. I don't care that you don't care. How's that? I have God's approval. That's all I need. Tough times are coming. The fear you feel is good. It tells you that faith is a little weak. Press in. Lord, teach me. Show me. Make me a good soldier of Jesus Christ. I'm just a little girl. Irrelevant. The Holy Ghost is God. And he will make you strong. Don't sin. Just don't sin. Ask for a Bible. I want a King James Bible, please. I want a King James Bible, please. Just think if you had the courage not to eat. You'll give me a King James Bible or I will not eat. How's them? How do you like them apples? Now for adults that won't matter. They'll just hold you down and feed you for another category. It's very painful. That's how they kept the those who were on a what do they call it? A starvation diet or hunger strike. I remember a man by the name of Bobby Sands, an IRA member. After 83 days of just taking water, he died, starved to death. Hunger strike to change the laws against the way certain Irishmen were treated in British prisons. These things stick in a young man's mind. Why would a man starve himself? 83 days without food, that's pretty determined. Why would a man be that determined? 11-year-old boy wonders these questions. Can you imagine saying as a young child, and they give you food and you just leave the food there and don't touch it? I'll have a King James Bible, please. Why aren't you eating, darling? I'll have a King James Bible, please. They're not that stupid, they won't understand. How's that for a challenge? Defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Make it to the point where there's none left. If there's none going to be left, what happens to the wicked on this earth? Because the wicked, those who claim Christ, will always have the poor and needy in their hand. In their hand means their power. Rid them means they can't have any more power over them again. So who has to be the king? This is saying he's coming back on a silver cloud of glory. He's going to take me away. I'm looking now for the sign of his returning. It won't be long. It may, I pray by God, be today. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. When they say, you're not meant to be a judge, liar. Ye are gods, and all of you are the children of men. All of you are judges in some capacity. If you are not faithful with just what's in the written page, how can you be faithful with Christ teaching you in your living epistle pages, in your body, in your flesh? If you can't even read it and pick it up and pray, what does it mean? You're going to fail. You have to be a living epistle, read of all men. I have said, ye are gods. Verse 7, but ye shall die like men. Oh, that brings it back, doesn't it? I'm not so high and mighty after all. And fall like one of the princes. As a man dies, so does the beast. Ecclesiastes 3. Who can tell under the sun? You only see, according to your eyesight, a man dies, a beast dies. Who has the preeminence in this earth? No, none. You might have a period of time of power. but the Lord pulls down one and lifts up another. He sits in the heavens and giggles quietly to himself. No, he laughs. Booming laugh. It's about time that laugh is going to take place. Be bold. Christian, be bold. Satan roams around as a roaring lion, but you can be as bold as a lion. When he's bold, you be bold back. Arise, O judge. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. This is why I say it's a Jewish earth. The father of many nations is Abraham. You know there's only one person that's promised to. That won't be begun to be fulfilled really until the millennial reign. Because every soul alive at the end of the tribulation period is going to be a Jew. No one left other than the Jew. And then there's a judgment that happens to the Jew. Those who kept the one tin of baked beans in their cupboard to themselves, and a believer came to their door and knocked on their door. And they said, oh, go thy way and be at peace. I've only got enough for me and my daughter or my family. I've only got enough. And that person then goes their way. You don't remember about the widow woman of Nain, do you? Is that what you're thinking about? Yeah, exactly what I was thinking about. There was one pot that just kept giving.
Yeah.
Kept giving. What about the cruse of oil? The woman in Israel, her husband perished. He was a prophet. And he was in debt. And of course the debtor comes and, and all an Israelite isn't going to honour the law in relation to debt. No, you're just going to sell your children for slaves to try to recoup that debt. Because it came from the man got the debt. You take what came from the man, the sons. She cries unto the prophet, all right, what vessels have you got? Go and borrow all the vessels you can get. The great regret is, I guarantee it, that she didn't have more vessels at the end. You have the king worried about Ben-Hadad coming and slaying all his people and taking his kingdom from him. The prophet says, grab your handful of arrows and smite the ground. He only smote the ground 3 times, and he was wroth with him. Should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. God was going to utterly destroy Syria. But now you're just defeating 3 times. Regret at the end is too late. Oh, I'll learn for next time. There won't be a next time. Arise, O God. Arise means there has to be a movement from one place to the other. Is he ruling and reigning on this earth now? Then how can he arise and judge if he doesn't come back? It's impossible. For thou shalt inherit means I have to come and take what is laid aside for me. The one gained the kingdoms and died. And he's left the inheritance for the one who rose to claim it. The claimant can come at any time. Doesn't have to come immediately. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Father gave him the kingdom when he showed himself faithful until the end. And that is his inheritance. He's going to inherit the heathen. I thought you said it was a Jewish nation. Well, there is adoption. I thank the Lord for adoption because we're in the family. Through the tribe of Judah. We're in the tribe of Judah.